This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. It was a tough day in Northern California sports yesterday. The Kings lost to the Jazz 133-112 as Sacramento dropped both games of a weekend back-to-back. They get a few days off now before finishing up November at home on Thursday against the Clippers. The Raiders kept it close in Baltimore until the fourth quarter when the Ravens scored a pair of touchdowns en route to a 34-17 win. And the 49ers came off their bye and fell flat in Tampa Bay with a 27-9 loss to the Buccaneers. San Francisco also announced yesterday that they're releasing linebacker Reuben Foster following his arrest for a domestic violence incident Saturday night at the team hotel in Tampa Bay. Foster's release is expected to be processed today, at which point he will land on waivers. It's 8:01. Peak Financial wants to talk retirement. Dial pound 250 and say the word money. Now it's time for the third hour of The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
I love radio. I love radio because radio at its best is unpredictable. Radio at its best is kick your face fun. And joining me right now in studio, literally knocked on the door, said, hey, I'm coming in, and there's maybe two people in this city that can get away with it. One of them's Jerry Reynolds. The other one,
my best friend.
Your best friend.
My best friend in the whole world.
The other is Lance Woods. What's up, man?
Woo!
Look at that.
Huh, people?
I think I actually have, hold on, I have a canned studio applause I can hear. Look at that. There you go. Kyle's Lance Woods.
Thank you.
No, we just met today.
You're far too kind.
Do the Warriors have an equipment? You don't have a Lance Woods, do you? I mean, I know there's a lot of bandwagon Warrior people, but there's no,
like Beyonce comes to our games, but she's no Lance Woods. So.
Oh, Lance Woods.
Kyle's a Warrior fan.
Kyle is, but he's a Warrior fan. But I'm going to stand in front of him for a second, as tough as it is.
He's going to get out of the way in a minute, but he'll stand in front of me for a second.
He's been, first off, grew up in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Lifelong Warrior fan. And regularly criticizes the Warriors and compliments the Kings. It's very, very fair.
He's trying to be fair. You know, a lot of Warriors fans always try to prove how long they've been a Warriors fan. And they start trying to name players like, what you mean? I've been a fan since Carlos Rogers. Like, man, I'm not trying to hear that, man. Bandwagon? Come on, man. Danny Fortson? Like, stop naming all these random players, man.
They're going to be doing that with us someday, I hope, with the Kings.
That's what's going to be happening. What? Jim Les? I got a pair of Walt Williams socks right now. They turtleneck socks. I pull it up and they come all the way up to my earlobe. L Train? that's what they do. They just start naming random
just
players.
Just random stuff. I don't think you can be a bandwagon Kings fans right now. It's impossible. There's no bandwagon because we've sucked for so long.
We had a bandwagon in the 2000s.
We did back then. I feel like what's it been now? 15, 14 years since we were good. That the bandwagon turned into like a jalopy. It was a Pinto, a Yugo. And now we're starting to, one of my favorite things about this season has been the emergence of De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, Harry Giles last night, and Lance Woods. You've been fantastic this year.
Thank you. that put me in some rare company, right? Start naming rich athletes and saying, and you.
Right. Well, hey, I don't want to say you're a rookie. You've been working for a little bit, but I think for a lot of Kings fans, they haven't had a chance to experience Lance Woods.
You know what's funny is the first Kings video that I did that really caught people's attention was when DeMarcus got traded.
Really? Yeah. Were you were not happy about? Wait a minute. Weren't you really pissed off about that in that video?
Yeah.
I think until you just said that, I don't remember seeing the video. Now I'm putting it together. I think did you put that on Instagram?
Yeah.
I think you and I should have been friends back then because I was very upset about it, but I can't put it together like you can. Yeah. You have that unique way.
Yeah. It was random. I was babysitting some kids. I don't know who would trust me with their kids, but I was babysitting some kids.
Right.
And as I was driving on my way to do it, I was shooting a video. And it was raining the day, I remember. And I was driving in the rain, shooting a video because I'm a safe driver. And as I was doing it, and then I'm editing the video while I'm watching the kids. And I'm like, put that down and don't hurt your brother. And I'm trying to get this video done. And then I remember once I posted it, because I'll post stuff and I'll just put my phone down, I'll go away. And then when I came back to my phone, I had like a gazillion notifications and all of these things. And I was like, oh, this is, but it was like, I think it captured the feeling of what all Kings fans felt at the time.
Absolutely.
Nobody feels that way now, but at the time.
At the time, it was upsetting. At the time, and I loved DeMarcus. I still do love DeMarcus, but
Me too.
I can look back now and say, okay. I mean, I know this. I know we got the better of the trade with New Orleans.
Yeah,
New Orleans got screwed.
Yeah, he's not there anymore, and we got draft picks and
Buddy Hield, Eric Giles, Justin
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, you know. I want to remind everybody if you can not just listen, you can also watch. Lance, just so you know, I got to tell you, because you are a professional, you got a camera there behind you and a camera right there. Jiffy Lube and the Sac Republic bring you the video cast of the drive each and every day. Go to KH2K.com, top of the screen, or on your tablet right around the middle. You got a TV appearance, by the way. I want to plug that later today. Is that correct?
Yes, but I don't have all the details.
Okay. Hey, well then watch this plug. Hey, everybody. Lance Woods is going to be on TV later today.
Yeah, no,
check it out.
You want to plug something? Follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
Lance Woods.
Is it just Lance Woods on Instagram?
Instagram is just Lance Woods.
But it's Sir Lance Woods on Twitter.
Because I couldn't get it on Twitter. I wanted to get, and there's somebody who hasn't even tweeted, and like,
there's another Lance Woods,
and he's not as cool. I guarantee you that.
I mean,
and he only tweeted once, and it was like 8-9 years ago, and his picture is an egg.
I'm looking at this right now. He's following 6 people. He has 300 followers, which I guarantee they think it's you. I guarantee. Oh, look at this! Like the top 6 out of the top 10. Nope, about 19 out of the top 20 follow me that I'm looking at, which that's Kings fans.
Yeah. And
this dude has one tweet, May 21st of 2019, working.
Same.
It said, it can't be 2019 because he'd be futuristic.
Or what I say, 2019? I'm sorry, 2009.
Oh, okay.
May 20. That'd be crazy.
I was gonna say he can keep the name. He's better than me.
He tweeted 9 years ago.
Yeah, that's seen, and yeah.
Obviously, he's working hard.
Yeah,
he's not tweeting.
He's definitely working.
Now, you, in addition to being a really what I like to call one of the true voices of the Sacramento Kings, but you're also a stand-up comedian. I mean, you've got an actual thing going on as well.
That's a career. It's real. This has been 8 years
really
in the making in stand-up, and I've traveled the world doing comedy. I've worked with and still work with a bunch of the biggest names in comedy. That's the core of what I do.
Sure.
And then the funny thing is I started shooting videos just to draw attention to my stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the power of the internet took over with some stuff. And then you be out and then people say, oh, I love your videos. And then they don't even know you do stand-up.
And you can't really, or correct me if I'm wrong, but what you do that endears you to Kings fans so much, you can't really transfer that into your stand-up, can you? Because you're dealing with different audiences, or does it depend on where you're at?
I'll be honest with you, Dave. I'm a genius.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, you heard it first. I called him a genius last week.
What? At least you're honest about it.
You heard him
though.
second, by the way.
That's good.
We called him a genius last week.
But my stand-up is a totally different entity. But I'll try to even in videos, I would try to just say jokes that can translate to a stage if I wanted to do that.
Sure.
So I try to have as many tricks in my bag as possible. You know what I mean? So if I've done shows for all kinds of different audiences. So if I have to do a show where sports jokes are needed,
you do it.
We do that.
Now, you think you could have the Kings asked you to perform at Goal One yet? And is that something you think you could, like, if they asked you to perform like at halftime, or is that an environment that would be good for stand-up, or would that be a little more challenging to you?
It wouldn't be good for stand-up, but I'll make it work.
Of course, you're a genius.
Yeah, I did say it, but but no, because the thing about it is at halftime everybody's like moving around and running around and
sure,
loud,
right?
And then it's like I went to Kevin Hart's show when he was here last Friday, and I don't like when everybody's
in the round
surrounding me.
Sure.
I
like arena seating.
Yeah.
I don't like arena seating unless they push, like when they move the stage and put everybody facing this way.
Right.
I mean, you look at it on the board too, but I don't like telling a joke and a bunch of people's
behind
me. That what I mean? It feels weird.
So you prefer kind of the more club look.
Or theaters or stadiums, like whatever. Just I want everybody.
You don't want people behind you when you're performing.
Okay,
I
that
just
makes
don't.
sense.
I got trust issues.
I understand that.
I don't want people behind me.
You need to be able to block.
I need to be able to see it all coming my way. I had a lady run up on stage and try to fight me once.
Why? Just cause? What'd you do?
I'm gonna show you the video.
Are you?
I'm gonna show you the video.
Did you say something offensive to her?
Speaking of sports jokes,
Uh-huh.
it was the day the Spurs beat the Heat in the finals.
Okay.
Father's Day.
All right.
And I had jokes about it, and she got highly upset, and she started saying things I can't say on radio,
Of
but
course.
I'm gonna show you the video.
Okay.
And then that's what happened. And then she ran up on stage, and then I was like, I'm security. Where y'all at,
Did
man?
they have security that helped
had security.
eventually?
I'll show you the video. But
Okay.
security came eventually because she ran up on stage, and because I was talking about LeBron,
Right.
and she ran up on stage, and I was like, I told her she looked like LeBron the closer she got to me. She had real broad shoulders. Her hairline wasn't where it should have been. And then she kept coming,
Right.
and then she said, she got real close to me.
Sure.
And said, do I look like LeBron now? And I said, you look exactly like LeBron James. I'm surprised you ain't got your powder toss going. You look exactly like the king of Akron.
She didn't like it.
Yeah,
No.
but she took it the wrong way. Maybe I was saying you look like a champion. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
all about perspective.
You look super rich.
You know what I'm saying?
You look like a winner.
You look like you could average a triple-double if you put your mind to it.
For the 2 or 3 of you out there that may not be familiar with Lance Woods and his work and why we fell in love with him very, very early on, here's a clip. I'm not going to play the clip from last night because that was sad Lance. That was just Lance. It was like a little mini Lance Woods montage is what it was.
No, when you said you need 3 minutes of that,
Can I explain, though? Because this is what I thought in my head. Because you put a very sad song in there, and I'm thinking like the Sounds of Silence or something, and just different thing like Lance hanging off, just kind of sitting near the Tower Bridge, just kicking some dust up. Just sad Lance at different landmarks in Sacramento, but hopefully we won't have to have too many more of those.
yeah.
That was sad.
Because I noticed that you're one of the Kings fans that Kings fans don't always agree with because you're not I'll be trying to find the right words because you're not
Smart.
No.
Good looking.
Because you're not just someone who goes, we're the best, we're gonna win.
Right.
Yeah, you try to
Doesn't wear purple glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that.
You just try to be objective and you try to be realistic with your expectations for the team, and that's not really what fans want to hear.
I think sometimes you're right.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to be 3-17 to start this year. That was
Okay.
the big number I put out, and I couldn't be happier to be wrong.
Okay, so that's my question. When you look at the team, what do you feel like is realistic for this season?
I will say what I think is realistic now is far better than what I thought was realistic a month and a half ago. We were talking about before you came in, Lance, that they're 10-10 right now, and they have an opportunity they're going to be 1 game over, 1 game under 500 going into December. In my wildest dreams, I didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
When I started the season, I thought 20 to 25 wins. Now I have to create a broader range. I think on the low end, 30. But I also think on the high end, if everything goes right, this is a team that can absolutely flirt with 500. And that's a dream for us right now.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I didn't believe in them, but because they're like 4 years old. They're new. They did not strike me. I thought Dave Yeager'd be gone at the end of the year. Vlad'd be gone at the end of the year. This has been a fun year so far.
Yeah.
And you've enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's been great. Because when I'm watching them, right?
Right.
Because there's moments when you watch them, So okay, so you have a thing where you're a fan, right, and you want to be excited. Then you have another moment when you watch them, you say, no, scrap all the fan stuff. Like, no, these dudes is really good. Like, scratch all of that. Like, they can play with anybody.
Yep.
Like, when you watch them, when everybody's right, when Fox is pushing the tempo, and because even, Shumpert not playing last night mattered, because Shumpert is, you can clearly see emotionally he leads them. Just intensity.
Absolutely.
Veteran leadership, defense. I want to talk to. I've been wondering. I want to talk. This is random. I want to talk to Shumpert and ask him how he felt in Cleveland, because I think he's clearly better than J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
But he wasn't getting those minutes.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. And then he kind of got put in a role to where, okay, look, you're a spot shooter, and he's like, I'm not. Like I do more than that on the court, but no, on this team you're a spot shooter.
Yeah, he's not strictly a 3-and-D guy for sure.
Yeah, J.R. Smith is just a 3.
There's no D.
Yeah, just go. If you're not gonna go wait for LeBron to pass you the ball and shoot, then you're not useful in this situation. So I wonder how he took to that, because the NBA is a place, basketball in general is a place to where people, they will define you.
Sure.
And then once you're defined as something, it's hard to shake that rep as that.
He was pigeonholed in Cleveland. That's what you're saying. And he's shown this year, we expected nothing out of him. He's not only been great on the floor, but that leadership. After that Golden State game, remember, he was the inbounder with 0.3 left, and the ball got tipped, and that was super disappointing. He came out on Twitter and basically said, guys, that's my bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
That's accountability. Yeah. That's a good lesson for the young guys.
Yeah. So, I wonder about that. But like I was saying, what was I saying?
You were talking about Iman Shumpert, and you wanted to talk to him about how he was pigeonholed in Cleveland.
Yeah, but
before that, we were talking about fans and wanting to be homers or hear homer stuff.
Okay, yeah. So with this season, like when you watch it, you say, nah, these dudes is like really, really good. So then they should compete for a playoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody stay healthy, and they should be in there. The thing that's scary about the playoff spot is the teams that aren't in it, and you feel like they're going to get it together.
Guys like Utah last night who aren't in it.
Bigger than that, Houston.
Sure.
San Antonio.
Yep.
And you looking like, so then you like, all right, well, something going to have to give.
Lance, we were talking about this. The West is insane. The Clippers are tied with Golden State at number 1.
Yeah.
You got Memphis. You've got, we kind of expected the Lakers, but to your point, you got the Rockets, Spurs. Timberwolves don't have Jimmy Butler, but they've won 5 of 7 since Jimmy Butler left. And then Utah, I mean, even a team like Dallas, and nobody's talking about Dallas. Dallas is 9-9.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Who we don't talk about around these parts, is pretty good.
Yeah, y'all don't.
Well, Luka anytime. Luka's such a hot button because there were a lot of Kings fans that wanted the Kings to draft him at 2. Yeah. And you still have a large contingent out there. And I'm not even saying they're wrong, but you have a large contingent out there pointing at any time Luka has a good game and wondering if the Kings would be a better team with Luka than with Marvin Bagley.
I just enjoy watching Luka Doncic as a basketball fan, having nothing to do with the Kings. Sure. I get, if I retweet a highlight or a stat or anything Luka related, the response I get from Kings fans is 100% negative.
Yeah. It's like, wait, he's very mad.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
I just like Luka, man.
I want to play this. This is Lance after, and if you're not following him, follow him on Twitter at Sir Lance Woods, and on Instagram just Lance Woods. Woods.
Not hold on, not just.
Excuse
Lance.
me, at Lance Woods.
Yeah,
not just Lance Woods.
All that stuff gets confusing.
That's true. At Sir Lance Woods Twitter, at Lance Woods Instagram. Here's
Christian Mingle. Never mind. People are my business.
Here's Lance after the Warrior loss.
We let him escape. We just needed one more rebound, and we would have silenced that arena full of Warriors fans that was Kings fans 10 years ago. And I don't care if Steph and Draymond didn't play. We didn't have Steph or Draymond either. How many All-Stars does it take? You got Durant, you got Clay, you got Boogie, you got Steph, you got Draymond. Who else y'all want? Superman, Thanos, Batman, Jackie Moon? Talking about pause with this for a second. Let's talk about Buddy Buckets, the future all-star, the gift that keeps on giving. Looking like we clearly won that trade with New Orleans. Let's talk about the bench. Giles, you balled out. Jackson, you balled out. Bagley, you balled out. 20 and 17, being productive in limited minutes, like a good mistress. You did your thing tonight. We gotta learn how to close those games out. We was one rebound away from beating the Warriors, and then Kevin Durant joining our team next year.
That's great work.
Okay, so you're anti-comedy in an arena space like that. What about like a pregame hype speech?
I've done that.
So you've done that at Golden One?
Yeah, I've done that. I've done.
That's something I think.
Well, no, I mean I've done it with Jerry.
Right. That's right. I remember that.
But I think Kyle's talking about like on the floor with the arena mic in hand before they do like starting lineups.
Oh,
get the crowd hyped.
I don't know how much I'm supposed to be talking about, but we've had conversations.
Okay.
So,
I will say this: the Kings.
Wow, I was the catalyst for that. You're welcome.
we just got it done right now. Yeah. Kings are very good at stuff like that. The Kings are very good at understanding what works and what doesn't work. I think they have like the audience ringing they'll have fans ringing the cowbell and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which we need. Can we bring the cowbell back?
That's what I've been trying to figure out.
Yeah,
the cowbell. I probably shouldn't say all this stuff on air, but
I think you definitely
breaking
should.
news.
Yeah, breaking news.
On the
we do here.
I've had conversations with people in the organization, and we've had conversations back and forth. We've had conference calls about doing all types of fan things.
Gotcha.
And me being a part of these things. So I got several ideas of things that would be really cool for the city and interesting additions.
Yeah, you got a couple things. You said you were a genius.
Yeah.
You got a couple things in your head.
Yeah.
And we have 1 minute left. So let me say, first off, if that does happen, best thing about that maybe you haven't thought of yet is you're going to get some really good swag.
Some really good swag?
You are going to get some great swag. You're going to get some good outfits.
You're going to get like custom King stuff that only you have.
There's like a whole different level of Kings gear, some of which they don't even put online.
Yeah.
That you're going to have to insist on in any contract that you sign.
That's why I talk to you.
Yeah.
Speaking of genius, I need a manager. You free?
Lance, if Jerry Reynolds will allow me, because I know you and Jerry are very tight, but I feel like you and I have that spiritual Kings connection.
Yes.
You bring that contract in here, and you need swag. You need maybe a statue. Definitely your face on one of the game tickets throughout this season. That's another thing they can do, too. Like game 38, and you usually see a player shooting. No, it's Lance.
Game 69. If you want an arena full of women, you put my face on that ticket and watch it look like ladies in free before 10 at the club. It's going to be the first time they say, why ain't no men at this game?
Is there anything?
Why all the women got on high heels?
Can I plug anything before you leave?
Plug my Instagram.
Okay,
plug
that's
my Twitter.
Instagram is Lance Woods. Twitter is at Sir Lance Woods.
I can plug clubs here?
Of course you can.
Okay.
Plug whatever you want.
I'll be at the Crest Theater on Wednesday.
That's a pretty good gig.
It is.
That's not, I want to disparage any comedy clubs, but the Crest Theater is a big deal.
Yeah. Speaking of places you don't want to disparage, I'll be at Tommy T's December 7th through the 9th.
Okay, very good.
I'll be at the Punchline December 30th.
Been there many times. Punchline, how about Arden, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
How about Arden?
Look at you.
I'll be at my mom's house late. I got to do laundry.
Okay.
So
leaving that one alone.
Yeah. Telling y'all where I'm going to be at.
Hey.
I got to go to Walmart before the day ends.
Listen, you were nice enough on your way to go do something to just kind of stop in. We're going to exchange. It has been a long time coming.
Yes.
I've been wanting you to come on the show.
Yes.
And I keep going through your people, and they keep pushing me off.
Classic Jerry.
Right? Classic Jerry.
Jerry has a house phone. He has
a rotary phone.
Yeah.
And he
texts like this: L O. I messed up. You start over. You go L O L.
Period.
Yeah.
There's no period.
I call. I say, how'd you make an emoji?
I asked him to have Lance on. He said, "You better hippity hop yourself to the bank get some cash. So, okay. All right, my man. Jerry Reynolds is the gatekeeper. We're going to exchange phone numbers here, and if you're okay with that,
absolutely,
I won't give it out.
No, it's even if you do. I know if they're your people.
Yeah. What do you mean, my people?
Whoever you would give
2018, dude.
I know. Come on, man.
Sir Lance Woods on Twitter. Lance Woods on Instagram.
Mr. Paula Dean over here. Yep.
That's Kyle's nickname.
And
I'm
how'd you know?
And I'm
you
Carmichael
must listen to the
Dave.
show.
We will be back and we'll wrap up the NFL and finish out the show next. That's Lance Woods. Make sure you check him out at all those fun. By the way, I know we got a break. Is there a website or something? They just follow your social media? You threw out a lot of info there.
Instagram, Lance Woods, Twitter.
And that's
Facebook.
how they'll find out where you're playing.
That's the easiest.
Okay.
I have a website, but it's a lot.
Okay.
Those are the easiest.
We're going to have to do some stuff together.
Yeah. Or just come to my mom's house. No. Yeah.
Instagram. What? Instagram?
Lance Woods.
Lance Woods.
Twitter.
I'm more comfortable there. Sir Lance Woods. At least that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's Lance Woods. We're back in a couple on Sports 1140.
Love you, mama.
Hey, this is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. It was a rough day for Northern California sports yesterday. The Kings lost to the Jazz 133-112. The Raiders lost to the Ravens 34-17, and the 49ers fell flat against Tampa Bay. They lost 27-9. The 49ers also announced yesterday that they'll release linebacker Reuben Foster following his arrest in a domestic violence incident Saturday night at the team hotel in Tampa Bay. Foster's release will be processed today, at which point he will land on waivers. It's 8:31. Peak Financial wants to talk retirement. Dial pound 250 and say the word money. Now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KSGK.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
Well, now what do I do for 30 minutes? Lance Woods comes in like a tornado. It's Lance and my first meeting. You know that in person? We're social media friends. First time we've actually...
That's surprising to me.
Yeah, a long time coming. And I appreciate Lance making his way down here. It's surprising us. I had no idea. And I don't like surprises on the show. You know this. I do not.
Yeah, no, you're not usually a fan.
Have a way about... As much as it sounds like we're not organized, we tend to be organized, at least with the show stuff. Lance can surprise us whenever we want. And I hope that whenever he wants. And I hope that I know what he's talking about, and I do hope a lot of things he was talking about work out. I imagine they will, because he's making the Kings season very fun, as well as wouldn't work if the Kings were sucking this season. But he's making it even better. All right, let me get back on track. It's not easy to do. Somebody want to know what that text was? That's right. I was going to read a dumb text. And then I had mentioned before in the 7:30 segment, I had mentioned Kyle, and then Kyle made me go to break. I had mentioned that if you told me the Kings would remain relatively injury-free and everybody continued to develop on the track they're on, and then thirdly, the Kings kept this core together, I said not only would this team be a playoff team, which I'm certain of, but they'd be a title contender. And anytime I say something like that, there's always a guy, this guy. Is Dave drunk this early? Possible title contenders. Jeez, I need to go back to bed. And I can't expect everybody to listen to every second, every minute, every second of this show, although you should. But I don't understand how that's possibly a controversial statement. You've got a pretty damn good core of Fox, Heald, Bagley, possibly Giles. And again, I'm not even throwing Willie in there. That's not me saying they're going to win a title. I think if you are a top 4 seed in your conference, or you're able to advance to the Final Four, to the conference championships, or hell, even the semis, you're a title contender. That's a title contender. Now, granted, there are some teams, maybe semi is a little too far, because there are some teams that make the playoffs and you just know.
Yeah, and there's sometimes like Like the Pelicans last year were not a title contender.
No, they weren't. They were a team that could definitely.
And you get and I know this is going a little bit beyond your point, but then you get teams in the East where you have like 4 teams in the East that are going to get there by default because they shouldn't even be in the playoffs.
Right.
But for the most part, if you're getting to the conference finals, you're a legit title contender. Like look at last year, Boston, Cleveland, Houston, and Golden State were all 4 legit title contenders.
Yeah, and it just depends on how you take it, because I'll go against my own point now. I believe last year there were 2 title contenders. Now, the playoffs certainly shook out differently, and both Cleveland and Golden State were, quote-unquote, on the ropes. I mean, they literally were in a must-win game in both cases. It was just tough for me. I didn't include Bogdanovich in that core. I apologize. I meant to. Don't read into that. But to me, like, for example, for me this year, there's 1 title contender. Now, I may be being overconfident and silly, but I believe that. I believe there's 1 title contender. I believe as long, and again, injury is always the asterisk, and we're seeing that right now. But if Curry and Draymond come back and Cousins is able to do anything Cousin-y.
But this goes beyond your point of the Kings being a team that going into the season in the next 5-6 years, assuming all these things that you mentioned as caveats, there's no reason to think that they wouldn't be a top 2 or 3 seed and a legit threat to win a championship.
Let me ask you an honest question. I understand we're in Sacramento. Go ahead.
And like you said earlier, this is not you and I saying, put the house on it.
Sure. Of course not.
This is saying, like, hey, on this current trajectory, looking big picture, best possible outcome.
Best possible, and also not entirely unrealistic.
Yes.
I know you're in Sacramento and you're on the Kings flagship, but I've always valued your honesty. In your opinion, you have $100,000 to bet one way or the other. Do the Kings have 2 or more future All-Stars on their roster right now?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to be purple glass, but if you ask me, Dave, you have $100,000 to bet. Are there 2 at least, if not 3, but 2 people on this squad right now that at some point in their career will be All-Stars? I would not hesitate to put it on yes.
Yeah. There's too many young, talented players to say no. For me.
If he doesn't get injured, De'Aaron Fox is going to be an All-Star.
He's an All-Star, yeah. Buddy Hield could be.
Buddy Hield could be.
There's always the weird caveat with how the NBA All-Star voting is and how it works, and I'm sure there's back channel politics that go on. But, like, Damian Lillard's been an All-Star, twice?
Yeah.
And it's like, you look at his career, and he's more than a 2-time All-Star type player, to me. So there's always that caveat, but they have players of that caliber, for sure.
Did you watch the Tiger-Phil matchup?
If I told you I watched none of it, it would be underselling how little I watched.
Did you hear how they ended up giving it to everybody for free because there was a screw-up?
Yes, that I did see.
Yeah, and they're refunding the money.
Yes, hilarious.
It was whatever. We'll give you more thoughts on this later in the week because I do think more important than the matchup was what it could mean for the future of pay-per-view and different sports. But where it didn't disappoint was the trash talk between the 2 of them, and we have a few clips. I have not heard these. I heard there was some epic smack talk. I honestly thought they might come to blows. Here's before the match.
My ball wiggled right, your ball wiggled left. But yours looked like it was hunting the hole, and it's almost like I willed it uphill. I'm trying to be more talkative, but I'm just not. This back 9. This is hard. I understand. No, I understand. We got back into our old mode of trying to beat each other's brains in.
Oh my God!
Wow. Didn't expect to hear that. Here they are talking about football.
It would have been so much drama if we had beaten Oregon last week. Yeah, to go down there and have a chance to win the Pac-12 South.
I was looking at the replay, that 2-point conversion. It looked like his foot was in.
I thought he was out, and then when I see all the stills, I thought he was in, and how do you not at least take the time to look at it?
Exactly. They didn't even look at it?
They never stopped.
Too bad. I think if they looked at it, they would have changed it.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, my God.
If they had looked at it, they would have changed it. Oh!
I can't believe he said it. I can't believe he said it.
He went there. That to me showed that there was no line they weren't gonna cross.
Well,
with the smack talk,
you're wrong because here's here's our final clip. And honestly, all I would say to Phil is, Phil, Tiger has a family. Just remember that. Take it easy on him. He's already dead.
You've been doing that crap to me for 20 years. I don't know why I'm surprised now.
How'd they even let that on the broadcast?
That's like, I know it was like a pay-per-view kind of like, not, but kind of like an edgy type thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that they let him say that, and then I don't know how they didn't fight.
Maybe they should have.
To me, you say that to me, I'm not a fighter at all. I'm not tough guy. You say that to me though, we're fighting.
You're gonna catch hands.
Yeah,
as you kids
I'm
say.
I'm throwing the hands. It's up to you to catch them.
It would be lit, fam. Honestly,
we're crushing it.
The next
18 to 24 demographic.
The next pay-per-view they have between these two.
It's going to be hella lit.
And they should sponsor, they should have Allocaine sponsor it because they have to have somebody there to take care of all those burns. I mean,
there was one clip. I did see one clip where Phil was putting to win one hole and their $200,000 bet or whatever. And Tiger's sitting over there with like his smirk on his face and he's like, nice putt. It's like, oh snap!
It was so lame. And then they ended up finishing. They had to go to, I think, 22 holes, and they ended up finishing in the dark.
Jeez.
We'll get to more of this later in the week. Bunch of people texting today. I've ignored them all about Kevin Durant signing as a free agent. I might be the only King that doesn't want Kevin Durant to sign as a free agent. I'm the only Kings fan. I don't. And I'll tell you why next. When we've got What's on Tap, we'll let you know what's going on tonight. Oh, and so much more on The Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK. What's on Tap brought to you by
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes. Hey, you want a cake without all the hassle of having to cut into it and, spoon it, fork it out, whatever it is, try a cupcake.
I usually fork it, then spoon it, but...
Okay, cupcake or piece of cake?
Of the same, so it's chocolate cake, buttercream frosting.
Yep.
Because buttercream is awesome. The best frosting.
True buttercream.
Yes. Cupcake.
Why?
Nay? Okay, cupcake because here's why. Because I can eat a cupcake with my hands and it's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
I can't pick up my piece of cake with my hands and have it be acceptable.
You also can't eat a cupcake in a bowl. I mean, I guess you could.
But the whole point of the cupcake is that it's handheld.
Yeah.
I can snag that off the table. I can undo the wrapper. The wrapper serves as a crumb catcher, and then you can eat the cupcake. It drips out, and then you just ball it up and throw it away. You don't have to worry about the hassle of a plate.
Hard to not get the frosting in your mustache, though.
Yeah, I have to do the thing where I eat most of the frosting off the top first.
Can I say, by the way, I'm so glad No Shave November is coming to an end. Here, I'm ready. I'm gonna way too much food in my beard. Texans tonight, 5:15. 7-3 Texans. They've won 7 in a row versus the Titans in a game for the ages. I am down 1 point in my fantasy league. I have Lamar Miller, and the guy I'm playing as DeAndre Hopkins. Probably doesn't look good for me. I said before the break.
Are you not going to bring up our fantasy football matchup?
Oh, or is that you I'm playing?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm losing.
You need a huge night from Deshaun Watson, which is not out of the question.
But Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Let's see. Right now, you're up. Well,
it's not. It would be an incredible win, but not one of those totally out of the realm of possibilities.
He'd have to have maybe the best. He'd have to have an insane game. because I am currently down 174 to 121. You're done. Hey, nice job having Juju Smith-Schuster, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
And his 53.9 points. Whoever the commissioner of the league is that decided to put in all kinds of bonuses.
Yeah, that's on you, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of bit me in the tushy.
That 97-yard touchdown was worth like 30 points.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. You know the last 97-yard touchdown in the NFL before yesterday's by Juju Smith-Schuster?
Juju Smith-Schuster?
That is correct. I still think Juju Smith-Schuster is the best conversion of a boring name to an awesome name ever, being that his given name is John Smith.
Yeah.
There's still nothing but Juju Smith-Schuster is 100 billion times cooler
That's
than John
an
Smith.
elite wide receiver name. John Smith is a special teams guy for a couple of years.
You know who John Smith might be at his ceiling is John Ross. Catch a touchdown every 6 games. He'll get 3 catches. Maybe he's on a roster. But he's not Juju Smith-Schuster. I said before the break, I'm not sure about Kevin Durant signing with the Kings, and I am aware with eyes wide open going in that is a terrible take. I'm aware of it. I acknowledge that Kevin Durant may be the best player in the NBA. He's certainly, to me, the best scorer in the NBA.
What's your reasoning?
My reasoning is that I don't want to have similar issues, and it's not similar. But I'm so pissed at the Warriors for signing him the year after they won 70 plus.
73.
Yeah.
Then blew a 3-1 lead.
Then blew a 3-1 lead. That to me, the rings will still shine and they'll still go down as champions, but that's always going to be a talking point with them. I would rather do it. I feel like if you bring Kevin Durant into a team like this, the Sacramento Kings, it's like you've got Fox, you've got your core that you started with, that you built from scratch. And then you bring in Kevin Durant. And it's like, well, of course they won. They got Kevin Durant. And then you're also bringing in the Durant circus. You're bringing in the Durant attitude. You're bringing in the Durant drama. I would so much. Now, if you told me, Dave, the only way this Kings iteration is going to win a title is with Kevin Durant. If I knew that, bring him in. I'll carry him from Oakland. But if I felt like.
He is 7 feet tall.
Dude, I'll find a way. I will find a way, bro. I'll get a skateboard. But
Kevin, sit on this. We're going. Ew.
I would so much rather win or at least compete for a championship with this team that's homegrown and maybe bring in somebody that's not Kevin Durant but is Otto Porter or I don't know.
Okay.
That's my reasoning. I just don't want that shortcut.
Interesting.
But
That's
I also want a title and I don't
fascinating.
care. I know.
You're caring how they win championships.
I know we're like 10-10, and I'm like, well, I don't want to win a title with Kevin Durant. It just would seem so damn impersonal. I wouldn't care if that's the only way to win a title. Let me be clear. Bring him on. It would just seem so damn impersonal to me. Like you hired a title hitman. You brought in the Wolf from Pulp Fiction for NBA titles.
That's not what Durant is, though.
If they won a title, that's all. It's going to be Kevin Durant.
No, it would
got
be.
the glory.
It would. That's a weird way to think about it.
He would be
You're
the best.
weird. FYI, I don't know if you've ever been told that. That's so interesting. I can get behind that you don't want the circus, and he is proven to be
circusy.
Draymond was right in a lot of respects.
Sure.
So let's put it that way. But for the logic behind it to be like, that's not the way I want to win a title, that's
I know.
very odd.
I know it is. I admit it.
You are I would cut off my hand guy.
I would. And as I said, if you came down, somebody came down, probably it'd have to be Jesus. If Jesus came down, because he can see the future, and he said, the only way you're winning a title is if you sign Kevin Durant. Like I said, I'll bring Kevin Durant, bring his mom, I bring his whole family, I bring every Kevin
His
Durant
mom is
fan.
the real MVP.
The real MVP. I'll bring them all. But damn it, Kyle, there's something very protective about this city and this team that I have that.
So it's any good free agent then. Like that logic to me says there is, like Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
You would feel the same way with Kawhi Leonard.
I would. I just put my feet up on the desk now. I'm thinking.
This is real serious. This is when I know you're super engaged in the conversation, is when the feet go up.
Okay, so Klay Thompson, I'd be okay with that.
Interesting.
Kevin Durant,
who has more titles than Kevin Durant.
He does.
Okay.
LeBron James, no.
Kawhi Leonard.
Because Kawhi Leonard is quiet enough and unassuming enough that he could fit in. I don't want Kevin Durant to come to the Sacramento Kings, them to win a championship, and him to get all the accolades. It's like, well, he went to the Warriors, he got a championship, and a couple, and now he came to the Kings, he's got some championships. And then it's like, well, the Kings would have never done anything if it wasn't Kevin Durant. No, De'Aaron Fox, Harry Giles, Marvin Bagley, Bogdan, even Willie.
Have you seen what's happened in Golden State?
Yeah.
Like, it's not Kevin Durant. That's still very much Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. They are very much.
Yes.
If you were power ranking the favorite Warriors, I would bet Iguodala is going above Kevin Durant. For the people that matter, it would still very much be the core guys.
Hey, listen, if we're in a spot where Fox and Bagley and Giles are Klay, Curry, and Draymond,
which is what I'm saying,
then that's a great spot to be in. We can have this conversation at that point. I just don't want somebody coming in and cherry picking a championship after all the crap we've been through.
They're 10
coming
and 10,
in,
man.
But they're poised for greatness, maybe, possibly.
This is fascinating.
Here's what's crazy, Kyle. You know what's crazier than what I'm saying? I think what's crazier is when you go through the text line when we're done. This is why I love my dysfunctional Kings fan friends. Every single text but one is with me. They're like, yeah, I don't want Kevin. Yeah, I don't want the best player in the NBA, dude. No, we're 10 and 10, but we got a title coming. I want to win it with somebody that deserves it. It's going to fit in here, not somebody we have to fit into. Wait a minute. For Eunice behind the glass, Kyle Madson, Lance Woods for stopping in. That was awesome. I'm Carmichael Dave. Jim Rome is next, followed by the Lowdown and Grant and Doug. We got a full slate for you right here. We'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Debate the premise for how Dave wants the Kings to win a title.
You're damn right. It's a drive. See you tomorrow. Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye now.
Sports 1140 K.